Not just the Mercy Watchers, but everybody.
Hi, everybody. Today I am here at Cathedral High School in Houston, Texas, and I have the principal, Alexis. Introduce yourself.
Hi, Dr. Ludwick. It's great to see you. I'm Alexis Kutarna. I am the head of school here at Cathedral High School, and we're very happy to have you here today.
Well, it is a delight to be here. I've been here a couple of times in the past, and it's on the campus with the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham, and it's just a beautiful facility, a building. Can you talk a little bit about the beauty that one sees when you arrive here at Cathedral High School? Absolutely.
We are very happy that and blessed that we have a building that is built in kind of a neo-Gothic style. You see these soaring archways and arched windows, a limestone building that represents solidity, the dignity of what students are undertaking while they're here. I think oftentimes, especially with new schools, you might start in kind of an office building or a parish hall or something else, and we have these utilitarian-looking classroom buildings. But here, we've been so privileged to be able to be on a campus where architecture is valued in that way. Mm-hmm. We have the beauty of the architecture of the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham and the shrine, the Chancery Building, and so this whole campus reflects the dignity of what we're doing here each day.
Well, it's certainly beautiful, and just coming here, you have a sense of purpose, right? This is so I can't help but think that is imparted to the students that come here and study. I mean, even this beautiful window behind us is an example of the detail. I think that students know they're being cared for and they are in a place of significance. So talk to me about your students and where do you find your students and how do they come to school here?
Well, at Cathedral High School, we have a Catholic classical curriculum. And so a lot of our students are interested in continuing their studies at a Catholic school, but also in that kind of curriculum. So we take in students from, the Catholic classical elementary schools like St. Teresa's or St. Teresa's in Sugar Land or mm-hmm. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, as well as Western and Magnolia. But also we have students who come from homeschooling backgrounds here at Holy House Academy, mm-hmm. Or who come from public schools or other charter classical schools. And so they're particularly attracted to this kind of curriculum.
Right.
One of the beautiful things here is that each of our students participates in the full life of the program at Cathedral High School. Mm-hmm. So our students don't, just take a couple classes that they would like to take, but they actually have a very rich curriculum. They have a backbone course called Catholic Culture. That course is an integrated humanities course, so we teach history and literature and philosophy through this lens of salvation history mm-hmm. in a historical great books sequence. Every student takes a rich selection of science courses, natural sciences, mathematics, Latin, theology, of course, the queen of the sciences, mm-hmm. but also every single student takes sacred art and sacred music as part of their curriculum here at Cathedral High School. Now, not every student is necessarily going to be called to be an artist or to be a professional musician, right? But there is something about the study of the arts that speaks to our humanity and to man's desire to communicate with God and to reveal his glory here in the world. And so we want each of our students to participate in that. So
one of the things that I found just amazing, I've taken a couple of tours here, and specifically in the art classes, mm-hmm. your students write icons, right? Yes. Can you explain what that is all about for those who are watching? And how do the students respond to that?
It's interesting because I think when students are touring, or sometimes parents ask the question, well, what if I'm not good at art, right? That's okay, because that's why we have a class, right? We have a teacher who can teach you the appropriate techniques, terminology, and guide you in that patient practice that it takes to actually become what we might say, good at or talented at art. There's really a practice to it. So our art curriculum is aligned with the Catholic culture course. In the freshman year, the students, they create ceramics and mosaics. In their sophomore year, they study iconography and calligraphy, and they do illumination. And then in our junior year, this is exciting for this coming year, is we will also offer stained glass.
Oh.
But the idea is that these are some of the media through which the church has sought, artists in the church's tradition have sought to express these great ideas about the faith throughout the centuries, throughout the life of the church. And it's something that we can all learn how to participate in, whether it is because we might be a stained glass artist afterwards, right? The church needs stained glass artists.
That's right.
So if one of our students wanted to go on to an apprenticeship after high school, that would be amazing. But also for the student who might be a doctor or a lawyer or who might homeschool their own children, they have now this great appreciation for the church's treasury of sacred art that makes them more human. Hopefully it helps them with prayer and certainly makes them appreciate the gifts of others.
Sure. So that sounds great. And then, of course, music. I know music is a special love of yours. So what do the students do? Because, I wasn't blessed with what a lot of other people call a great singing voice. So what if a student comes in maybe talented like I am in that way?
Sure, absolutely. I think that probably 99.9% of people really can learn how to sing, that it takes a patient teacher, sometimes individual work and practice to give you the right idea of techniques. There's also that period of the changing voice in high school for the students. And so somebody who's patient enough to guide each student through that is important. So all of our students participate in the life of singing on the campus. It's one of those things that, just like when you do other physical activities, you build up the muscles that are required to do that. And so it's a physical activity that each of our students builds up the ability to do over time. And they're immersed in it every day. So our daily mass each morning, which is a mass that's actually offered for all of our students and all of our faculty together. It's not an option. It's part of our school day. That is a sung mass every morning. So our students sing each morning. They sing monthly choral evensong here at the cathedral. And then they learn this rich treasury of sacred music that's been handed down in the church's tradition.
Well, and it does, I think, in some ways set the experience for students apart, right? Because it's such an integration within the overall curriculum. So it sounds like things are going along really well here. And I'm sure the leadership has something to do with that. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. So I actually came into this through music. I grew up as a musician. I was grateful to have parents who didn't become professional musicians, but appreciated music in the home and insisted that we take music lessons. And I studied in my undergrad. I studied bassoon and piano performance, and then I pursued a master's degree in conducting. And at that point, I was working in a parish as a church organist, and someone introduced me to the Liturgical Institute at Mundelein Seminary. And so I fell in love with the study of the sacred liturgy. So after completing a master's degree in liturgy, I also went on to my doctoral studies and finished my PhD in liturgical studies with a concentration in church music in particular, writing on Pope Benedict XVI's theology of sacred music. And at the same time, I had been here in Houston teaching at St. Mary's Seminary and then working in a parish school. I was very grateful for the experience at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton. While I was there, I went from being the music teacher to becoming an assistant principal, and then came to Cathedral High School, first as a member of the curriculum committee, and then the founding director of sacred music, and now the principal and head of school.
Now you're the head of school. That's incredible. Well, that sounds great. And I think your background in conducting probably gives you an added insight how to make it all make music and harmony together.
I think so. I said that actually to the faculty at the beginning of the year, that, there's something about this position that's like conducting a professional orchestra. They each have to play their own part, and I'm not going to tell them how to do, each of their individual jobs, but we have to also see how it works harmoniously together, and that's the conductor's role to facilitate.
What happens outside the classroom? That's such an important part of development.
It is. For each student here, we hope that they are formed as whole human persons. That's our goal. And that means that there's more to life in high school than the intellectual life. Certainly that's a primary part of it. But our students participate here in what we call a house system. And this is a primary vehicle for development in virtue and building up skills in student leadership and communications. So each house is like a small family in a certain sense. We have 4 houses here. They are all named after saints who were influential in some way in the life of St. John Henry Newman, who is our patron. And in that house system, there is an elected student leadership. So there's a house captain in each house and a secretary and other roles. They are paired with house mentors. So all of our faculty are assigned to houses. And they mentor these students not only for that single year, right? So you don't just have a teacher in a classroom for 1 semester or 1 year. But this is a relationship by which they can accompany the student throughout their years in high school, whether they're teaching them in the classroom or not, which is great because they actually get to know the student.
Sure.
We want each student to be known here, to know that they're loved, to know that they're supported as they grow. And so in the house system, we've really seen a way to develop that so that each student can flourish.
So you've got the house system, which there really aren't houses, right?
No, we don't have actually homes that they live in, but
right. It's an organization, a group dynamic, and a family situation. And then there's athletics and drama and just a whole host of things that students do outside the classroom.
Yes. We have a full athletics program. This year we've added more sports. So we have volleyball, cross country, tennis, basketball. I'm going to forget something, baseball. And so next year, looking at other sports like fencing or rugby.
Well, that sounds terrific. So what is next for Cathedral High School?
Well, next year, we're excited that we continue to expand. We continue to expand our student population, our faculty in the role of the college and vocations counselor, a full-time athletics director. We're excited that we have actually just received our accreditation paperwork from the Texas Conference of Catholic Bishops Education Department. Their accreditation commission met, and so we have now an accredited status with the TCCBED, which is very exciting for us. So we continue to develop our curriculum and then also develop our relationship with the University of St. Thomas further.
And that makes me very happy, right? Because it's such a natural fit. The curriculum in many ways is hand in glove, and just the opportunity that students have to be formed here and then continue that formation at the post-secondary level is really a tremendous gift that I feel, and I know as you do too, just blessed to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so I feel blessed that we've been a part of our viewers' lives today. So thank you all for watching us today, and God bless you.